This is the 1987 Nissan Sentra XE four-wheel drive wagon. This guy said Birkenstock sandals are jokingly referred to as birth control shoes. The case could be made for this car to have a similar nickname as far as looks go. It's a 1.6 liter, 4-cylinder engine, manual transmission, 5-speed. The coolest thing I can find about this car is that it's 4-wheel drive, activated by pressing a button on the stick shift. Almost like a fighter pilot. Pew, pew. I have no idea who would buy this car back in 1987. Maybe the same type of people who would buy a Volvo wagon or a Saab 900. But maybe you're a little bit different than that. And maybe you're an accountant and it's cheap and it's got 4-wheel drive and you live in New England. I don't know. I don't know who they were after. I don't know who the market was. So this is the 1987 Nissan Sentra wagon. It's the 4-wheel drive model. It's a 4-cylinder, 1.6 liter manual transmission, 5-speed. It only gets 26 miles per gallon highway and 21 miles per gallon city. Total combined mileage per gallon, 23 miles per gallon. So not super impressive for a little 4-banger from the mid-80s, but I think that's probably a price you pay sometimes for getting 4-wheel drive. I guess if you didn't have the sense to buy a Tercel wagon with 4-wheel drive, then maybe you would buy this. Passengers using up all their space. The backseat passenger is not going to be too happy. So let's move that back out of the way. Ugh. So seats have a convenient lever here that you can put your finger right in to pull out. Both sides very easily folding down to open up all your area in the back seat. It's actually a nice easy opening trunk lid. Just kind of effortless. I do have a malfunctioning gas tank cover here. It needs a latch to hold it in place, but this has a pretty effortless trunk lid here that pops up nice and easy. The hatch shocks still doing a good job with it. You do get plenty of space to bring your bags of mulch home from IKEA. I mean from Home Depot. And your little shelving units home from IKEA. So we've got a strap here, so when we're accessing our spare tire, we can just hook this somewhere up here. Let that hold it up for us, get in here, do our business. We've got our jack here. We've got a little extra storage over here. Different tools and whatnot. And you've got over here to uncover your jack if you need to get in there. A little bit of extra storage here. A little extra storage here inside the door area. I'm not sure you could fit a whole lot in there, but certainly better than wasting the space. This has the interior that is typically Spartan, as was the case of most Japanese cars in the mid-80s. Looks like you have an airbag, but you really don't. You just have a large horn. No tachometer is included, even though it's a manual transmission. You have your fuel gauge, temperature gauge, and your speedometer. 4-wheel drive located here on the top of the stick shift. There's also an indicator light right on top of your horn that will come on. And the important reminder, keep your wheels straight when changing between front-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. Everything on the interior is stock as it came from the factory, except for that radio, which has been upgraded and now includes a USB port and an auxiliary input. Human-powered windows. Also power door locks. E-brake. Ashtray. Cigarette lighter that still had the picture of the cigarette on it. Heat and air conditioning. Rear windshield wiper. While the interior is quite spacious for the driver and my 6-foot frame has plenty of room to slide around, the passenger's a little bit encumbered here. I'm not too familiar with the car enough to know what's under here, but I know it doesn't leave a whole lot of leg room up front for the passenger. That's about it.